We'll be on in just a moment. Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of 100 Yards of Football. Today, Joey Clinkscales, I'm Harper LeBel. We're going to have our first of a college prospect interview show that we have, where we're going to be looking at some of the seniors and the juniors that want to leave early and be a part of the NFL draft process. And we welcome them with open arms. This is the future of the league, and we certainly want to make sure that they feel comfortable on the show, but a chance for you, our listening audience, to be able to learn a little bit more about these guys and what they go through. So we're going to do that today with Gavin Gibson, a senior out of North Carolina. So there's a lot of things that immediately someone's going to say, oh, that North Carolina that's had all those things that are going on. We're not going to go about the things. We're going to talk about Gavin. He's a 6 foot, 185-pound defensive back and a corner coverage guy that Joey told me about the other day. And I'm excited to have him. Joey, first and foremost, thank you for bringing Gavin on. And what an exciting first part of our show that we get to talk to some of these prospects and some young guys that are be going through this process itself that can be quite intimidating. And part of what you do, Joey, is to help them understand what's next. You kind of give them a playbook, so to speak, as to what the interview process is like, who you're going to be speaking with, and what difference you can make by being articulate and knowing what you want and being able to describe that to some of the general managers and the coaches that might be looking to draft you.
Absolutely. You know, it's been a long process for me, obviously, given what I've done in the past. But I'm glad to have Gavin here because he's a young man who I know his father. And Gavin he's at North Carolina now. And I'll let Gavin explain to you himself. He came in through the portal from East Carolina. So, Gavin, tell us a little bit about your background first and how you got to the University of North Carolina.
What's going on? Thank y'all for having me. Graduated high school in 22. I was an early enrollee to the University of Maryland. Got there in January, and then I was there my first 2 years. We had a bowl game both years I was there, and then last year went to ECU. Also had a bowl game there. The military bowl was like NC State, so that was good. Now you can see.
Good. So, Gavin, as a football player in North Carolina, under Coach Belichick, who obviously is a six-time head coach, Super Bowl champion, and I think he's got a total of 8 rings, if I'm not mistaken, 8 or 9 from being an assistant coach.
Yeah.
So, right. He's been winning a long time. So, the defense that you guys play at University of North Carolina is really one of the staple defenses that a lot of teams use in the NFL, especially from a verbiage standpoint. So kind of walk the audience through your position, what it's called, how you play it, and some of the strengths that you find valuable in what you guys do.
One of the biggest things I feel like the defense has to offer is just the ability to play free and play within yourself and play to your strengths, know your weaknesses, and know how to avoid your weaknesses on the field also. So my position, I've been playing mainly middle of the field, free safety this year, which has been good. Being able to be the back guy, line of defense, know that there's a lot of trust that comes with that position. Previously, like at Maryland, East Carolina, I was also playing nickel. So that's also a little bit being able to come down, also being able to play the deep part of the field. That's kind of what I bring to the defense, and that's kind of what they like to see out of me also.
Okay.
Gavin, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask a couple questions. I used to interview guys that are great college players, and I say, what was it like for you your senior year of high school and what you learned your freshman year? If you could go back and be a senior once again, you'd tear it up. And every last one of them says, man, if I only knew what I knew when I was playing as a senior, it would have been fantastic. So tell me about your experience. Obviously, you said you went to Maryland. What was that recruiting process like for you? And was there a time during maybe your junior year that you kind of knew that you had a chance to play at the next level?
Yeah, so that's a funny question, and yeah, if I had the mind I had right now, even as a freshman in college, freshman All-American, just being able to know the game, dissect the game, and how much slower the game has gotten for me, and being able to like see things that I would have never even picked up on my freshman year, and just being able to take a step back and actually be able to evaluate the whole field. That's that's something that I've definitely been able to grow through in college.
Were you a two-way player in high school? Did you play a little bit offense and defense?
So actually, my high school experience was kind of like my college experience. I transferred 3 times in high school. Also, I was at a small school my freshman year, at a different school my sophomore year, and then finished up at Huff High School my junior and senior year. Um, and I was playing two ways my first 2 years, but whenever we got to Huff, it was like we were nationally ranked top 50 team in the nation my senior year. So
Wow.
it was really just being able to prep you and prepare you for what you were going to play in college. So I was doing a whole bunch of free safety, rover safety. I was down in the box a little bit, playing man to man, playing zone blitz, and just a whole bunch of things that I knew that I would have to do on the next level. And then, like you said about your other question, it was my junior year, I believe. It was kind of weird with COVID and everything going on. Like, it was just a weird recruiting process. Wasn't really able to go on any camps. Wasn't able to go on any visits. Just really working out and training, and then relying on the tape that they had of the previous year, which was my sophomore year. So I didn't really have a lot of looks throughout COVID and everything. And then my junior year and my senior year were played in the same year, which was weird because everything got pushed back because of COVID. So we didn't end up playing in fall. I had a spring season and then a following fall season like a few months later. So
Okay.
it was really that year that really springboarded me to being able to say, like, yeah, this is something I could do on the next level. I was previously committed to the Naval Academy going into my senior year. Um, and by like the third game, I had probably picked up like 5 or 6 offers, a few P5 offers at the time, and then a few other local schools and Group 5 schools. So then that was really whenever it settled in my head, like, yeah, I can be a Power 5 football player. This is something I can do on the next level. And then ultimately decommitted from Navy and committed to play for Maryland. On my visit, that was October 31st. It was Halloween whenever I went for my visit.
Wow. Awesome. Do me
Yep.
a favor. You said a couple things. I have a question. First and foremost, you talked about the weight room aspect in high school.
Hmm.
Um, what was that like? A lot of guys have not lifted a lot of weights. Some guys lift ever since they're 5 years old. The reason I ask is specifically for a guy who relies on his speed, his agility, his ability to turn and rotate. Some guys would prefer not to lift, but I imagine because of the regiment that you had at the high school level, that there's a day or two where you go, man, I feel so stinking strong. I am enjoying the results of what all that weight activity, all the sweat, all the equity that you put in to your body. What was that like for you? That experience about going, I can hit harder. I feel better when I get up. I'm stronger and I'm faster.
Yeah. So honestly, throughout high school, I had started lifting like I said during COVID, like lifting. It wasn't really too much through my high school exactly, but just like other trainers and stuff like that. I would go. I had I was on a schedule like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I was always doing something. I had my DB trainer, I had my speed trainer, and I had my strength trainer. And
Okay.
every week I was getting to it. So that's really whenever I started to develop and I started to see my body develop, like coming back and playing football that after it was pretty much like a year and a half, 2 years of not playing any competition football, and then coming back 2 years later and just seeing the difference that I was able to bring on the field, being faster, being stronger, just being bigger. And then, like throughout college, I've also seen the results through the different programs that I've been in, and then also now seeing probably the biggest change that I've seen in my body
Yeah.
going through the program with Moses.
One more before I let Joey get you back. You also mentioned playing in the box,
Hmm.
playing safety, free or strong, being a corner, being a nickel. There's a lot of experience that I think you could glean from in terms of playing in other positions to one, know what their responsibilities are and how that relates to you, and just being comfortable if you're ever asked to move because you know what the responsibilities are of each of those positions in the secondary. Talk a little bit about how that knowledge and that wisdom has helped you become a better player.
Yeah, so obviously, like I've been playing football all my life, and I've been on the defensive side primarily. And then growing up, I really always played corner until I got to high school. And then my DB coach, he was like, "Man, we gotta start letting you roam around and do a whole bunch of different stuff." So I feel like that development, and then going to Maryland, uh, recruited as a safety from my senior tape, but then getting moved to the corner room as soon as I got there, playing corner star and nickel. I mean, corner star and safety. all before the spring semester had ended, just really, I feel like propelled me to be the type of player that I am now in this defense to just, yeah, if I need to go do something else, then I can do it. If I need to fill in here, I can do that. And then I'm comfortable with it. They're comfortable with it. And I know how everybody can mesh within the defense. So if something is going on and I can see something's off, it triggers in my mind like, yeah, this would be a better scenario to put ourselves in. I feel like that has all just compiled, and now being able to be the deepest guy on the field, just being able to see it all is completely different.
Wow. I lied. I'm going to ask one more before I go to Joey. Tell me about the campus and what got you to North Carolina. I hear it's beautiful. I've never been on that campus, but I think from an aesthetic standpoint, there's something that's pretty amazing about that university, not just their football program, but what was it about the school itself that got you to say, you know what, I've been in some other places. I want to go here and I want to go here right now. What was that experience like for you?
So I was born and raised a North Carolina guy. So the combination of being able to play for the home state and Bill Belichick, it was just something that I really couldn't pass up on. And then seeing the campus, I've always been around the campus whenever I was a kid, going to different basketball games or football games. And then going back there again for my visit, it was a little nostalgic. And now, since this is my first year with the fall of the trees and the leaves and everything, it's real cool for now. That's something that I haven't been able to see since I've been up here.
Gavin, this has been wonderful. I'll close it by this. Well, two things actually. If any NFL scouts are watching, you are a young man who's very smart, articulate. You have played multiple positions, which is everything NFL scouts like. They love position flexibility, which you have. If you could leave them with one thought about you today, what would you say?
I feel like me as a player, I feel like the way that I play the game and the way that I approach the game really is what separates me in the way that I can dissect the game and just be able to make moves on the fly. I feel like that's really what I lean on, not being the strongest guy or the fastest guy or the biggest guy, just being able to make up with that with the way that I can move and the way that I can think on the football field. I feel like that's definitely one of my best traits.
You know, that's an interesting point. People have known for years that Bill Belichick, when he was with New England, would walk down the hall, and if he saw you, he'd ask you, what do you need to know about our opponent, and who are you going against? Tell me something about that guy. Is that something that's carried over into your game now?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like the way that the film is approached here is definitely the way that it needs to be. And then just the way that we all watch it as a team also. We'll have squad meetings where he'll get on anybody. He doesn't care who you are. He'll get on you in front of the whole team. And I feel like that's good for us. So we can also see from a defensive perspective what the offense is doing and why they're messing up and why we're messing up and how we can go about each other and attack each other to keep on making each other better.
Total accountability. That's what that is. Total accountability.
Gotta have it.
So
go ahead, Joey.
No, I'm just gonna end this by, unless you have another question, just by asking. In colleges today, there is obviously a lot different than when I played. But everybody, with NIL and different things, everybody's representing something. So, is there an organization that you'd like to give a shout out to, or a company you'd like to give a shout out to with helping you be the best person you can be?
Actually, I would like to give a shout out to my youth football program back at the crib, West Carolina Youth Sports Organization, the Ducks. That got taken over by my parents whenever I was about 10 or 11, and then they've been doing their thing ever since, and it's just been trickling down the tree. So I just want to give them a big shout out.
All right, the Mighty Ducks. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, Gavin, it's been a pleasure. Before we go, is there anything also that you would want to say? Here's my strength. I know I have some weaknesses out there. Everybody does. You got on the air, no interceptions yet, no sacks. I think it'd be great if you could say, look, I know I can get to the quarterback. We just haven't been called to do that. I know that I'm going to get 5 or 6 interceptions at the next level very early on because the way I cover guys, they're just not throwing it because I'm doing something that I need to be my guy man to man. Strength and a weakness before we go.
Like I said before, strength would be IQ. Weakness, the way that I play, I feel like can sometimes be a weakness. I remember the first thing Steve Belichick told me, he said, you need to slow down whenever you play. And I feel like that can be a weakness for me. It's just how fast I play, how aggressive I play, not being the biggest guy, like I said, just flying around, throwing my body around. I feel like that could potentially be a weakness for me.
Like, be patient, let the game come to you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's something that I've been trying to work on the most this year, especially being in a different position, being able to see the whole field and dissect the whole field. Just take a second, just read it.
So as a coach and a trainer, we're not going to use the word weakness. We're going to say what you can improve on is ability.
Exactly.
We don't have weaknesses. We're going to improve on that.
Exactly.
All right.
So I should have prepped beforehand, but you know what? The candidness and the honesty of that, because some people say, "Oh, you ask a young lady, what's one of your weaknesses? Oh, I care too much about things. Stop. I mean, that's like saying I want to, stop world hunger if I'm Miss America. There are things that look at the end of his career. Michael Jordan was working on his fadeaway. Why is he working on his fadeaway? Because he needed to. He couldn't jump the same way that he could when he was 21, and he never wanted to have anyone block his shot. So he said, this is a part of my game that is going to be, as I get older, I'm going to work on it. So even as a 20, 30, 35-year-old man, there's always things. And you mentioned, your ability, your IQ, you're always learning. You're always wanting the game to be very comfortable right before you because you've seen what you need to and you're relaxed within it and you can play at the highest potential because of it. So I appreciate your candidness and your honesty. And I know Joey does as well, even though I messed up the question. So Gavin Gibson, we want to thank you for being on the show. University of North Carolina is grateful to have you. You're a 6 foot, 185-pound senior. You're getting bigger, faster, stronger all the time. And mostly you're getting smarter and learning how to play the game better. Best of luck throughout the rest of the season and obviously with the upcoming draft.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all for having me.
So for Joey Clinkscales, I'm Harper LeBel. We want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning into our college prospect interview show. We appreciate you being a part of 100 Yards of Football as well. If you got an Instagram or a Facebook account, YouTube, please share with others. We appreciate it. The show is growing, and we are grateful that it is because of you. So for Joey Clinkscales, and again, Harper LeBel, we want to say thank you.
One last thing.
Please go ahead.
Shout out my pops. Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day.
Yes, and all the veterans, we appreciate everything that you did. Thank you for serving our country and for making it a better place. We are grateful and humbled because of it. So for Joey and Harper, thank you for tuning in.